Good morning, everyone. I am Carol Williams with Williams Immigration, a boutique immigration firm. And I'm here with another Monday morning edition of Beyond the Soundbite, where we talk about all things U.S. immigration. So, y'all know I like to dive right on in. The first thing I want to talk about is the consulates. So, the consulates, which we all know now, are run by Department of State. They are launching a new system. I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't know if it's an acronym. So Avitus, Avits, Avitus, that's what we're going to call it. I don't know. But that's what it is. So it is a new system. It is supposed to improve the services for the visa applicants. So it's now active in several countries. They launched it just about a month ago. So if you are in Belgium, Burkina Faso, Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, Democratic Republic of the Congo, France, the Gambia, the Netherlands, Ghana, Liberia, Nigeria, Rwanda, Senegal, and Sierra Leone, those consulates, those U.S. consulates in those countries are now using this new system as of about a month ago. So your appointment times will remain the same if you book them in the previous system. Your information hasn't changed. They should still be sending you correspondence to whatever email address you put in in the previous system. Supposedly everything transferred over to the new system. However, the process itself may involve some changes. So as we know, the process at each individual consulate is a little bit different. It's not all sort of one-stop shopping. You go to one consulate, it's the same as going to the next. Not the case. No difference in that when we have the new system on board. So if you are used to getting visas for some reason and you are like on your 85th zillionth visa and you get your visas and you're on autopilot as to what that process looks like, do yourself a favor, take yourself off of autopilot, read all the information on the screen, go through all the prompts so that you don't miss something, because it is now a new system. And so you don't want to be on autopilot. You really want to make sure that you're looking at everything and checking all the boxes, because we know it's super easy to miss a box, and we don't want anything to go wrong with your visa scheduling and your visa appointment. So just keep that in mind. They do have a new system the Department of State has rolled out in some of the consulates and a handful of the consulates. So I will keep you posted once I get some more information on that, or if we get feedback, about that new system. Still with Department of State, the next thing I want to talk about is the SEAC error. So if you've ever tried to work with National Visa Center and you've had to schedule appointments, go in and fill out visa forms and pay through the SEAC system, you are no stranger to an error message. I've not met anyone who has not gotten one of the dreaded SEAC error messages. So the latest round of error messages that we are seeing have to do with payment. So we're getting error messages once people are in the process of paying. NVC and SEAC are aware of these messages. They are working on them, but just be aware that it's not just you, which seems to be sort of a common theme when I talk to my colleagues about SEAC error messages. No, not just you. I'm getting an error message today as well. So just, we all just have to bring a little bit of patience when we're working with the SEAC system. The next thing we want to talk about is USCIS. They rolled out a new advanced parole form for us and gave us 0 grace period when doing it. So, always want to make sure that you're using the correct form. Always want to make sure that your form hasn't been updated. Usually, CIS will give us a bit of a grace period so that we can ramp up and start using the new forms. But this time we did not have a grace period. So as of October 11, a new advanced parole form was rolled out. We must now use it. If you're not using it, they will send it back to you. They will reject it if it's the incorrect or previous version of that form. And that form is the I-131. There are You can certainly use the I-131 for more than advanced parole, but I generally talk about advanced parole because that's what most of my clients are using it for. So just be aware that form has been upgraded and changed, and there is no grace period for using the new one. The next thing is the diversity visa lottery. It is still open, y'all. It does not close until the beginning of November, specifically Tuesday, November 5th. I urge you, if you would like to apply for the diversity visa lottery and get your entry in, please don't wait till November 5th. It's technology. Glitches happen with technology. So you just want to make sure that you've got enough time to understand the system, input your information, and make sure that you have entered your information correctly. Make sure that you have been honest with your information that you have entered. Make sure that you are applying on the actual Department of State website. There is no government filing fee. So if you find yourself on a website that is asking for a fee to apply, you are not on the official Department of State website. And everything gets completed online when you are entering into the diversity visa lottery. So I also cannot stress enough to answer questions truthfully. If you are not honest in your answers to the diversity visa lottery entry questions, if you are selected, you can be disqualified based on not being truthful in the lottery. So be honest. Don't waste your lottery pick if you are indeed picked. The next thing I want to talk to y'all about is another immigration myth. I've had employers come to me recently and they've said, well, I always love when people start with, I heard, I know something juicy is coming afterward. But they said, I've heard that I can't sponsor an employee for a green card if that position requires a foreign language. And to that, I say that is not the case. Now, we are generally talking about the perm process. So we are generally talking about a very specific type of green card application. The perm process we go through, we work with the Department of Labor. Now, Department of Labor's mission in the perm process is to protect the U.S. worker. It is to ensure that an employer has opened up a job opportunity that it wants to fill with a foreign national and get them a green card, that they have opened this position up to qualified U.S. citizens. That is their mission. Their mission is to make sure that the employer is doing the advertising. If people apply, that they're not being turned away for ridiculous, unnecessary reasons. It is really to protect the U.S. worker and make sure that the U.S. worker gets a fair shot. Typically, when a job that was part of the green card process required a foreign language, Department of Labor found that it was just a way to quickly disqualify U.S. workers. So that is in fact an audit trigger, but it does not mean that you cannot sponsor someone for a green card if the position truly requires knowledge of a foreign language. So we look at things like, do you have other people in the exact same position in your organization, and they too had to bring a foreign language to the table? A foreign language was required in your organization for this position on a routine basis. Why is the foreign language required? Does this role deal with folks maybe outside of the country or specific vendors who, need someone who can communicate with them in a foreign language other than English? Right? So it is not an automatic no. It is let's see why you are requiring a foreign language. And let's see if it makes sense for your organization. Let's see if we think that Department of Labor is going to say, okay, well, this makes sense. So it is not that you absolutely cannot sponsor a green card for someone if there is a foreign language requirement. It just means that we have to do a little bit more digging and put ourselves in the shoes of Department of Labor when that is requested. So that is all I have for this beautiful Monday morning. If you have any questions about sponsoring a foreign national for a green card, how to apply for your visa overseas, feel free to reach out to our office. We are here to help you. Have a beautiful rest of your Monday and a great rest of your week.